After watching 11 videos about the Fuentes peers interview, I think I finally distilled it down to its essence, which is the WANGHAF offer, the white ass niggas going hard as fuck offer. And the offer that Nick represents and that Gen Z is doing to us millennials and everybody who's older than millennials is basically the offer of historically, when white men went hard as fuck, amazing things happen. About 80% of the good things in the world were created by white men going hard as fuck, except that one time. And what they are saying is we are no longer shackled by the Holocaust as a dangerous constraint of what we can do. And it makes some sense in the sense that the German authoritarian family structure, which, you can look up what the German authoritarian family structure is very different from the structures of families in the USA now. And it's definitely different from the structure of American society and how society works. So the kinds of dangers that you had with Germans in the 1930s before the discovery of DNA, when we didn't really know how evolution worked, trying to use their conception of evolution to argue that these and these people should be subjugated. What Gen Z is requesting of the boomers, of the Gen X's, of the silents, etc., is saying, would you kindly allow us white Gen Z men to go hard as fuck again? Because throughout history, right? That's what created most of the beautiful institutions that we have. That's what created the cars, the computers, even the sodas, right? Everything. That's basically what generated the civilization, the plane that's making noise in the background here, and so on and so forth. So I think the way to read Nick Fuentes now, or at least a significant percentage of what he says, is, do you older generations trust us to go hard as fuck without committing genocide? Do you think that we grew up in a sufficiently technologically advanced future, in a sufficiently understanding of evolution and DNA and racial disparities and so on, and in a multicultural society, etc.? Do we understand enough things that we are allowed to go hard as fuck again? And I think that that's kind of how you should interpret a lot of the disparity between Gen Z and the older generations. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's a very interesting request. And I'm kind of generationally in the middle, I've dated a bunch of Gen Z women, but I'm a millennial. I'm 39. And I can see both sides, right? I feel, there is some risk, right? That whole Holocaust thing was pretty bad. But on the other hand, right, it's not Germans, it's not a high orderly people, it's not a people whose entire structure of personality is based on hierarchies, orderliness and timeliness. It's not the same. And the assumption that everything is the same forever, which is how the boomers live, right? Everything is forever a recalcitrant backing off by white men from Holocaustianity, as some call it, the religion of the Holocaust, it's not that's obviously not going to live forever. But you can also think, well, there's a lot of cycles in history. Good men make strong times, whatever, all that bullshit. And there's a lot of other cycles in history that take 4 generations to last. So a lot of people who observe structure of history in this cyclical manner, they're gonna be scared that what's happening is just that 4 generations have passed, and now they're gonna do the same thing that happened at that time again. So the real question is, do we trust Gen Z white men enough to let them go hard as fuck without believing that they will accidentally cause a massive level of harm? And that's the question I wanted to meditate on, to think about it, to sleep on, because I don't think it's a given. I think it's worthy of examination. Bye 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 bye. Your favorite primal philosopher out.